thing. Oh goodness. All right, so let's We's back, being consistent as always. Two man
Uh,
team, man's out sick, perfect that man. Tiki. Oh man, I forgot to intro these things. It's been so long, but welcome back. Hardcore Casual Podcast. It's been a few days. And honestly, with the holidays, it's been a slow news week. All I've gotten for like the past day of like research has been Black Friday sales and Black Friday sales. And I'm just like, why? So, besides that though, have missed y'all. It's good to be back again. But yeah, no, I'm gonna shut up. How you doing today? Even though we had like a little brief little thingy going on, but how you been, man? What you been up to?
whole lot of nothing, whole lot of work, a whole lot of well, not a whole lot of school because we've been on Thanksgiving break, so I've been chilling for the most part. But it's like where school kind of left me feeling like I get to breathe a little bit. Work is like, hey, we need you to come in early. People calling out sick. I'm like, dog.
Oh, they calling out sick. All right.
Yeah.
Oh
Meanwhile, I'm over here
man.
making jokes like, man, I came in sick. I was on the toilet, halfway through my shift, and I worked through it. I got paid to be sick. That's the difference between you and me. I get sick. I get paid up to be sick. Nothing contagious, mind
Oh,
you. But I was just like, it's just as funny because it was just like they were making fun of me because it's like, look, do you need to go home? I said, nah, I'm good now. Meanwhile, they talk about meanwhile, this dude after Thanksgiving talking about my stomach hurt. He got no sympathy for me.
man. I'm getting no sympathy points. I'm in a situation now. I want to say the day before Thanksgiving, I had like was is the day before the day was it the Friday? No, it was Friday. Came in. I'm lactose intolerant, but I'm gonna eat my mac and cheese. I don't care. So
Hmm.
whole day bubble guts. So I'm like trying to hold it. Like, nah, I gotta go to the bathroom. So now I'm under review for like being time off test for a day. It's like, man, y'all got it, bro. Y'all super got it. But none of this work stuff. We're not here to talk about work. Fuck them jobs. Here to get them bills paid. That's really it. Um, but yeah, no, like I said, slow news weeks, man. It's been nothing but God of War, Sonic, and
Sonic is
yeah,
already on sale.
I just that's a good and bad thing. It's like okay, more people can, I guess, play the game if they're ready to play it, but it's just like, damn, man, y'all couldn't wait like another month. Like, yeah, I don't know. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
first thing on
also
this list, honestly.
oh, go ahead.
Like, go ahead.
No,
I mean,
you were
I'm
talking about
like,
Black Friday,
um,
and I was just looking to see if God of War was on, if there's any used God of War Ragnarok disc out there yet. And apparently,
yeah.
because scalping is such a big issue, like PS5s are on sale digitally on Amazon. Sorry, got PS5s are on sale for sale on Amazon by invitation,
Oh,
and there's no
oh,
like outrageous pricing either. It's like the price they were always meant to be. So now,
oh,
if
okay.
you had the money for it and you've signed up for the PlayStation invitation, it's like you could reasonably get a five now, so long as you got the dough on you when it's your turn. And then they have a
That's
God of War
that's
bundle
good to
too.
me. That's what they've been doing a lot now. I think that was like their first way to combat it from like different outlets. They're like, all right, we're gonna like sell them with like the bundles and then make them like exclusive with us for a while. So that's been like the meta to acquire the console. But like you said, if you got the extra cash sitting around, then they're right at it. So
Yeah. Not that I'm
they're
rushing.
usually not bad. Usually you can like usually catch a bundle for at least like I've seen some for like even like 600. But I think peak like 700 if anything. Depends on like the games you get or whatever. But oh man, I just it's still weird that consoles are hard to get. It's still it was only been 2 years though, so I don't think it's that crazy. I think it's only crazy because
2 years already.
the scalper market. Yeah, I think was it 2020? Pretty sure was it unless it was 2021. No, I think it was end of 2020 actually. Cause when
Yep,
did
November
hold on?
2020.
I'm tripping. Okay, yeah, because it came out, and then I think Cyberpunk came out like around that same time period. Our is weird timing. Yeah, so yeah, it's been 2 years, and people still can't get these things reliably
Hmm.
unless they want to spend an extra $600, $700. So yeah, mm-mm, mm. I'm burnt out Black Friday. I want to talk about Black Friday. My job has ruined Black Friday for me. I want none of that ruined
Hmm.
every single the whole day. Hey, here's a Black Friday. So from Jeff Bezos' establishment, I'm like, oh yeah. While I'm slaving my life hours away, here's your packages, everyone. So I'm super cool. I didn't do nothing, but let me not waste too much time here. I think first thing on the bill today. Not like we both play Valorant, but it's coming to consoles.
I
Some
don't
people hit me up
care.
about it, like, "Oh my god, it's coming to console finally," and I'm just like, "I guess we're gonna get aim assist when we play Valorant, guys." Like, ooh, it's how slow it's been. We're getting Valorant to console news, and it's alleged. Like, okay, like,
I still don't know anything about Valorant. I know people were hyping it up. But some people were trying to brag, talk about like, yeah, I got exclusive like play access, to Valorant before it comes out. But they were the cool kids on the block. I was like, oh, there's nothing there for me, right? Especially because Overwatch still exists. Say what you want about it, but it looks like a
exactly.
less appealing Overwatch. No,
Um, it does come off that way.
not
It
saying we
definitely
should
does
all
come
be
off that
comparing
way.
games to games like that. But it seems like it's a competitive market, and I feel like once the standard has been met, you should try to release, match it if you're not going to shoot past it.
Yeah, I just feel like they're aiming to. I think honestly, they're just aiming towards the CS:GO market. I think that's like its main. I mean, you can look at Overwatch like this art style wise, and I guess the impact of I don't know just how it came towards the multiplayer scene, but it's definitely trying to tackle the CS:GO market as a
Mhm.
way of like here is just some hero abilities with the CS:GO skin. So yeah, no, I definitely like I saw a lot of it today. Like it was on my timeline on YouTube, and then friends in the group chat were like, "Oh my god, I can like look forward to playing it," and I'm just like, "Okay." I mean, I'm probably gonna have to play it honestly because I've been avoiding all multiplayer cooperative games. I haven't touched Overwatch 2 yet. I haven't. I've avoided. I mean,
I'm
I've played
over.
like
I
it,
call it
but
over
I'm
with.
just over. There's a lot of things you said the other night. Actually, there's a few things you said. But definitely over with is like the main thing.
They just
Um,
announced like their new season with a new character and stuff.
for over with,
Yeah, season two, they have
have
like a
to
new
be
character coming
right.
out in December. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Let's
Like
see.
I
Uh,
heard a lot about it before I jumped back into it and signed back up, my account.
yeah,
And I was gonna be like, all right, I just go in there for the experience. I'm not gonna spend any money because I heard how bad it is. Yada yada yada. So the moment that I realized they didn't care anymore was the moment I saw Reaper's emote on the battle pass, where he's just like crouching down and eating a cookie. And I thought to myself, yeah, right through the mask, mind you, where it has no opening to show his mouth. And I thought to myself, back in the day, they had so much painstaking attention to detail, and there was such consideration for characters' personalities and traits and stuff like that that come across through the emotes, the stickers, the skins, and stuff like that. Like there was handcrafted and love and attention for that sort of thing. To where like even when you had like every
yeah,
character had like an emote for them dancing, Reaper, who would be like the least expected person to dance, would just drop his guns, fold his arms, and start tapping his toe like an old man, listening to new music. And I thought to myself, that was a clever workaround because that would have went against his personality very hard. And then I just saw this man like crouching
yeah.
down, eating a cookie through the mask, crumbs all over the place, like he has no home training. I thought to myself, they truly gave up.
And
you know.
That's a
Uh,
weird tone shift.
it's the little things, and
I
you don't
think the new
realize.
character's called yeah. I only know. Well, I mean, of course, the characters we do know. You can't really speak on that honestly, but yeah, no, I think that's why I do appreciate Overwatch. I mean, I guess just in general, there was a nice little attention to detail. That's like I'm not saying most, but sometimes Blizzard has done a lot of cool things with their world setups and all that. That's why I was looking forward to the whole like campaign idea. I was like, okay, yeah, that's how y'all got Battleborn murdered off. So let's see what y'all do with it. But we haven't got nothing with that yet. So
Right. Yo,
I'm
now I think
just
about it, in that trailer, did
waiting.
they even show off any PVE stuff?
For the character, no, I think it was. I think it might be a different trailer. I'm gonna check.
Or
But
because
this
I
one,
know
that just kind of showed his origin story.
that was like a season 2 announcement, but they said they're still trying to work on getting that right. Meanwhile, every time they find something busted with the
There it
character, they
is.
remove them from competitive play.
Yeah, friend was just telling me about that when I was in the party still. He was just like, what they're doing now is they put out a little patch, like whatever the most played player is, they'll like pick off of them, take them out for a few days, update them, patch them, nerf them, buff them, whatever. Then bring them like they keep like trying to change the meta to keep the game fresh or whatever.
Hmm.
But yeah, nah. I just it's just been a lot of why is it so blurry? A lot of just adding characters, moving characters, not adding, but like they put them in competitive, take them out of competitive, put them back in, take them out. But it's all based off like popularity stuff right now. I don't think it's really more so on actual complaints or whatever. And then once people actually complain for the problems, of course they're still dealing with the shit not being fixed on time. So it's always a new meta, and the game literally just got re-released, patched, updated how many times by now. So I truly never know the direction they want to take this game in. I definitely never understand. I don't know if is he a tank? I
He's
cannot
a
tell.
tank. He's absolutely a
Um,
tank. You could tell by
okay.
the fact that he has a shield and a buff mode. But I just looked it up, and apparently someone on Twitter, Jared Lewis, I'm probably saying that wrong, but some fan
Mhm.
asked him. He said, "Hey Jared, can we expect any updates regarding the upcoming PVE anytime soon?" And he responded, "We're going to be super focused on season 2 and what I would consider to be the soon time frame. We'll be talking about PVE and other highly anticipated features in the future, but you may have to wait a bit. I know that's not a super satisfying answer, but I honestly can't say more." This was supposed to be the biggest launching feature
What?
for Overwatch 2, and it's
That
going to
was the
be a
whole point, right?
yeah, that was the whole point because they specifically said that there is a market of people who like these type of games and the characters but can't stand the competitive aspect to it but really enjoyed like the PvE stuff and the seasonal events, right? Which makes sense because a
Yeah.
lot of people who will be fond to these type of games aren't necessarily the hardcore FPS genre competitive type people, so they wanted to be able to have something for everybody who could focus and progress their characters and
Yep.
enjoy different aspects of the game and the characters, in their respective categories. But they completely released this thing too soon, and that was on the cutting board. And now they're going on doing the same thing with Overwatch 1, where they add all this content.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, there's so many other problems left and a lot of features that should make the community more engaged and more focused in the things that brings them to this game is being pushed off for an unspecified amount of time. And you see that pattern repeated. I mean, we don't have a roadmap to go off of like something like of Anthem and any other live service game that
No,
was
we
promised to
don't.
have updates. So it's just a
Yeah.
hot mess, man. Like I said, come next year, this game's probably not even going to be worth talking about.
That's what makes it like so disappointing because I remember when they did initially announced that it was gonna have some kind of campaign mode for you like when I do that. I was like, yes, because I do find interest in like the world itself. I'm not really the fan of like I guess hero team shooters is really not my bag, but that's like the only reason why I gave Battleborn a chance because they had a campaign and it was still asking you to play with friends. But because it was just a hero shooter. Like, oh, there's an online offline option. Cool. But with Overwatch, it's like you gotta do this unless it's like the Halloween season, and then we could do the whole PvE stuff. So I was like, nah, it was a campaign, please. And so I was at least at first I was like, yes, Overwatch 2 is coming. Then I realized it was just a 2K update, low key.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm like,
That
okay,
removed
at least it
way
was
more than it
free,
added.
but
It was free if you already pay for it.
it
It is not a.
yeah.
Wait, is it a free to play game?
So oh yeah,
Yeah, I
so
forget. It
I
is a
think
free
it's
to.
like Heroes Unlocked.
It is a free to play game, but there was a paid version. I forgot.
Yeah, so I already had my all my accounts was like already secured for me playing like a long ass time ago, so I didn't have to
Mm.
worry about it. But yeah, nah, I'm just it has been, that's why I haven't played it yet. I mean, people like get Overwatch, I'm like nah, bro, I'm cool. Like I just don't want to. I don't want to have to get into it and having a whole new meta. Just like oh well, it's gonna be different. Oh, your favorite character's locked off for now. People already talking about oh luckily Diva right now because she's overpowered. Luckily, or like I think like this was like nerf Tracer, but like they added some more buffs or I don't know. Just a lot of like small nitpicky stuff that I just get really annoyed with. I'm like, yeah, nah, just some of the campaigns coming because I could care less about multiplayer. I
Uh,
could care less.
Look, man, the moment I stopped playing was when this guy, and I love how people will always point to everybody else for a reason why they keep dying while making the most brain dead decisions that make no sense anywhere. Like there's this guy playing Winston, and he was like, "Healers keep me alive," right? Which we were already trying to do, but he
Mhm.
kept pushing way too far into DPS territory, right? And the healers were all the way to back, comfortable, chilling,
Yeah,
living their best life. Sunscreen glasses on with the
of course.
with the side of bubblies, and a lawn chair. They weren't being touched. And this dude like keep me alive, right? And so we're shooting him, we're pumping him full of healing and all this other stuff. This dude jumps over the team to try to get to the healers in the back. So we have no tank in front of us. We have the DPS and the tank players facing us. Half of them turn around and
Yeah.
shoot the Winston down immediately. The other half mow us down because we have no defensive options. And then he has the nerve to tell us when we lose, never play healer again. Then something just finally got on the mic. Was like, "Shut up!"
Oh God, bro. Like that's like that's I mean that's why I never like go into game chat. Even like when I play with like the squads, the Justice Black Men. Yeah, not even they get super toxic. I'm like, bro, I guess it's that deep. I just don't care. I wish I cared enough because it's like I feel like even like when I like try to like I guess play hard to the best of my ability, there's still like this awkward momentum shift. That's like I can't even like really explain. I feel like there's like rubber banding. I can't really explain it or whatever. But yeah, no, just how people approach the game itself is just like I'm not finna bend to your will because you feel like I'm slacking in this area. Like, nah, I'm gonna play how I want to. I'm still trying to learn this. So yeah, nah, I definitely already had my breaking point a few times. So like I
which
said, this
is
campaign me.
which is a shame because I actually liked part of the Overwatch community. Right, there's a lot of nerds in there, geeks. People just looking to have a good time. They play this game. They don't get toxic no matter how bad the situation is. All this other stuff. And there's some people who just either make it annoying or take it way too far, obviously. But there's a lot of good community members
Yep,
in there. But what I just come to
definitely.
realize is I just don't like these type of games. I don't like games where me winning or losing is so dependent of so many factors that are outside of my control. You know, Even when it's so obvious what needs
Like
to happen. Like these people, man, out like because I love playing. What's her name? Anna. Love playing Anna. She's my favorite
mm,
concept of a healer ever. Like shoots enemies, they lose health.
yeah,
Shoot heat people, her allies, they gain health. And then you just have something that just immediately takes away the enemy's ability to heal. And they give it to somebody else, so now she feels less special. But um, there's this. What was it? I love playing that role. It's just so fun for me. I don't know why. But like you'll
yeah,
have people who will mention things like Reaper up top, and they no one addresses it. not the DPS, not the tanks. And so this man has free reign to just jump down and ult us, and nobody even concentrates on him when he's in like on behind us. And then they wonder why we're getting steamrolled. I'm like, dog, that is not my responsibility.
Crazy.
That's why I like fighting games so much.
It's literally like
If I lose, it's because it's
it's
something
on
I
me.
need to do. Yeah, it's on me.
It's like it's literally just a group project, and I hate group projects. And it's just like how I think I did enjoy like being healers as well because it's just like all right, cool. I can like see the back line, heal my teammates over the heals, blah blah blah. But I'm like, okay, I forgot. I think I was trying to call it like a little Junkrat. I saw dude call us either in most games because niggas just don't listen. And I was like, yo, there's a Junkrat about to come up top. I'm gonna do his thing. And DPS is just not paying attention. I'm like, bro. Y'all see this man. Y'all are begging for heals. And the moment I stop healing, it's a problem. But when the person who can easily get me out this goddamn chat, y'all are just like, yeah, it's whatever. And
Right.
it's so weird how things are prioritized. But like I
They have
said,
they have
this
no game
this game
awareness.
is PvE at
They'll be
all.
yelling at us like, "Where's my healing?" I'm like, "Dog, we're at spawn. We died."
Shit, crazy
No game awareness whatsoever.
at all. You know, I'm watching this gameplay for Battleborn. Like, damn, this beginning section is ass as hell. No, the game was dead on arrival. So many games died to Overwatch too. It's just like
Yeah.
if it
I won't
wasn't
say it's
Overwatch at the time, it was gone.
I won't say it wasn't unearned, but it definitely fell apart shortly thereafter, and we had no substitutes, which is a shame.
Yeah, and I think the sad part with Battleborn was just like, oh well, for one, I mean, did people have beef with Gearbox at the time? I don't remember.
No, not at the time. The only thing that people had beef with Gearbox was, I think, directly was somebody, the people who hired them to do Alien Marines. I mean, this is before mind you,
Hmm.
but I think like before and after
Yeah.
Overwatch, the biggest problem was like they made Borderlands 2 and Alien Marines flopped, and that's because they allegedly took all the money
Hmm.
that they were given to make Alien Colonial Marines and put it into Borderlands 2. Best decision ever. I don't care what nobody say. I will not, as wrong as that is, I
That's a
am
great
not.
decision.
That was a great decision.
He said, "Fuck it, take
So,
that budget from them niggas."
right. So there was that whole like faking what the product was and then selling something completely different to the audience back then, as well as that lawsuit from the people who licensed them to make that game. And then like after
Yeah.
Overwatch with Gearbox, I think it was a lack of Borderlands games, as well as, or at least mainline Borderlands games, as well as no, the allegations hadn't even come out yet because those were more recent than anything.
Nah, not about
I
that.
don't I don't think
Yeah,
Gearbox have any trouble in between those time periods.
I think that's probably what the problem was then. Because I'm just thinking, I'm like, okay, I remember Battleborn came out, people were like, okay, it's like Overwatch, but not this part. It's like a cool augment system or whatever. Um, yeah, no, it just got steamrolled because it wasn't Overwatch. That's literally why this thing died. Like, god damn.
And every
I
attempt to
had some
try to
fun
be
watching this game
Overwatch
though.
has flopped spectacularly.
Unless somehow Paladins is like, still, I think that's the one thing about high res is like, as jinky as they should be, they somehow always keep a community around. They can bring back that one battle royale that they shut down. I forgot what that battle royale is called. Somehow Paladins is still a thing, and
Free to play.
after all this time, free out that is actually true.
Yeah. Free to play will keep you alive through just
Yeah,
about anything so long as people are willing to spend something that keeps them coming back. If you spend one thing in a free to play game, you are willing to come back just to justify that one purchase.
yeah. And that's where Battleborn fucked up. I think it was full price, and then they took the free weekend and the free to play skill character. Yeah, that's probably how. Yeah,
Yeah, as well as the fact
yeah,
that
that makes some sense.
it didn't review too well either.
True. Shout out to Lawbreakers as well. I mean, they just have all sorts of their phone tricks because it really wasn't an Overwatch
I
game.
completely forgot Lawbreakers was a thing. The marketing for that was so terrible.
That's what I'm saying. Like at first it was like, all right, well it's gonna be something like what you call it, something like Unreal Tournament, but just modernized with some hero based elements, blah blah blah. It's like, all right, cool, you sold me, and then it just became a dude bro game, and over just better than Overwatch. Like y'all literally killed your own game.
Hmm.
Like that's the only reason why it
I
died.
forget
You could
what
just kept doing my
exactly.
shit.
There was one particular statement by the main leader or something like that that was said that completely turned everybody off from the game before he was even out. I forget what it was though.
Let me see. Watch. Quote. Oh, that's name is. He has been out the news in forever. What is it? What is it? What is it?
There was another recent game that's supposed
Hold
to be like a
up.
melee hero arena that just kind of came and went. I can't remember what it was called either. That was like the last attempt to try to do that. Try to compete with Overwatch in that same
Oh,
sphere. Trying to look it up right now.
probably ain't even heard of it. It wasn't just bad timing. He said something. We're gonna find this. We're gonna find. Oh, there she is. Wait, hold up. Not political. No, 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 no. He said something. Hella shady. It's out. I know the game would look cool as hell, and we just made it a dude, bro. Hella shit. I wish I could find this thing. 2017. Good lord. Oh, did I turn on my ad blocker? Most recent alpha, not the alpha stage.
Yeah, I cannot find this
Thanks.
game. But like there was, that's how you know that game came and went. I can't even find the name of it.
Truly.
It was such an interesting concept, and then they
Truly.
ruined it immediately, right? They're like, okay, so we're gonna have like a battle arena,
Damn.
kind of like Overwatch, where it's like everybody, the focus is melee combat. It's like, okay, that's interesting, and definitely appeal to people like me who don't do so well with shooters competitively. And then one of the interviewers was like, so everyone does
Yeah.
melee? No, we have some people who shoot, and it's just like,
Hey, yo.
I was like, it's in the name, it's in the name. I'm not talking like technicalities either, like rocket punch. I'm talking like full on guns.
God, hold up. Wait, was it a battle royale or was it a
I
just
don't think it was a
regular
battle royale. I think it was a
real
hero
shooter?
arena. It was a team based battle arena. I'm gonna get some water, man. I got cotton mouth.
Sailors. What's that thing called? We'll find that thing later. I'm trying to find this man's quote. I remember he said something. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Um, nah, he definitely said something crazy. Mm-mm. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Mm. All right. No, bro, I traded. Hmm. Which one is this? Different same game. He says something. I just cannot find it. Mm,
All right, I'm back.
but I wish I could find this quote, man. I wish I could find this
Like you
quote.
literally had a death sentence for that game. But I forgot to mention before we go any further. Apparently, Gunfire had another major update.
Gotta reinstall it then.
Yep, new game mode.
Probably nothing too crazy.
No, they have an
It
entirely new
looks.
game mode where it's like a mob rush mode with a final boss at the end where you can still earn essence.
Mhm.
They have new weapons, no new characters, I don't think. New modifications and balancing.
Uh, say less. Definitely look into it.
Yeah,
Definitely will look into that.
haven't tried it out yet, but I was looking at it, I was like, dang, they really want me back so soon.
So they'll keep you coming back, my boy. You be gonna keep coming back.
He said, nah, you thought you were done, get
Yeah,
back in here.
because niggas, yeah, nah. I'm gonna have to find that quote later. I can't even. It's not that big of a deal. All right, what's next on my short list? The
Well, we got Valorant
Witcher
out the way, so
3.
Witcher 3 updates.
People
I'm
are
not
already
gonna
hating
lie,
about how the game looks.
people already hating how the game looks for Witcher.
Yes, I saw. I think I saw like one quick article. People are like trying to do Witcher 3 next gen.
I'm looking up a
It's
comparison
like
right
it's on the
now.
bird. Yep.
Let me just look up the images. Let me put this on my main monitor so I can see it better.
I need to find these comments. Mm-mm. I'm just like, it feels like if you have a good PC, you can just put it there, get your mods in. I really like dropped the they dropped the price again as always. So every time they drop the price for this game, I never have the fucking money. And I'm so tired of it. So tired of it. But let's see. It's all I see is like the usual. It's not really 4K. It's not really the difference. It looks the exact same. Like the usual
I mean, there's only so
nitpickies.
much you can change with a single update on a game that's been out for what, 8 years, 7 years?
Whenever 2015 was, yeah, 7 years.
Yeah. There's only so much you can expect to change. It's not like they made the game from the ground up. That's why people usually argue for a
Yep.
strong art style over realistic graphics because they'd never age well.
Yeah.
Clearly, that game,
Yeah.
while it was good looking, it wasn't never the best looking. And that's why I'd argue From Software runs that line very finely, where it's like their graphics are set in like in realism enough, but there's enough of an art style to where it looks graphically intriguing. Like it doesn't look like it's trying to be realistic all the time. You know, there's enough
Yeah.
there's enough colors that pop and lighting and mystical elements to it to where it's not just solely trying to be realistic all the time. And they age fairly well even after updates and remakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to find some time to like find 9.99 because it's always on sale when I don't have the bread. Um,
Yeah, it's a good
yeah,
game.
no, I
I
think I
just
might be
don't
able
think
to
it's good
finally
in the
give it a
gameplay
chance.
department.
That's why I'm always like, damn, if I dive in, I'm probably gonna hate this combat. See, we're gonna have to talk about this on the side note because when I'm
No,
talking about the
we
PC
could talk
girl,
we
I
could talk
see
about
why.
it. We could talk about it on the main note. What's up?
I'm like, I'm like, I see why you are never going to touch Ghost of Tsushima. I see why you wouldn't touch it
Why is that?
because just it's off the engagement alone. I'm like, it's even like, see, I fucked up with everything. So like, look,
Hmm.
off pacing alone, off pacing alone, Ghost definitely sucks in that department because like, even the higher difficulties, only difference is like a smaller period window. But even then, you can get to the point of it's being overpowered, just like every other open world game. So like the skill check is just like, oh, did you just do this part right? Like the fact I was getting parried by regular enemies and shit like that had me so pissed, bro. I turned off Sekiro so fast. Like I think I can get too far, but I think almost like a little dream sequence, like that first little castle area, like the bandits. I think I
Mhm.
had got to some kind of gem with like the staff. Um, yeah, I wasted like 30 minutes. There, like nah, I'm gonna go back to it probably later today. Um, but yeah, no, what I've been like getting the most out of it, I just like if I play The Witcher 3, I'm probably gonna hate the combat because I've seen the combat enough, and I'm just like this is the most like there's just no way Dragon Age Inquisition has better gameplay than this, and
Right.
I feel bad saying it out loud, but no one plays The Witcher for. I mean, people play it for the gameplay, but the story and the world and the lore is always like the drawing attention to it. So that's why I'm just like I should give it a chance, but god damn it.
You
That
said regular
gameplay
enemies.
looks so stale.
You said the regular enemies were
I
parrying
think
you in Sekiro.
I shouldn't say regular enemies. I wouldn't call them like mini bosses. I don't know what to call. What? Who did I fight?
Are you using the
I
thrusting
know that
attack, the
first
one
boss.
where
I
like
mean,
you charge it a little bit?
I tried it a few times,
Yeah. See, the
but
funny thing is, I
I
never
don't think
used
I
that
can call
move.
it a parry. But
I never used that move, and
oh,
but I saw like people try that, and I didn't realize certain characters have the same abilities as you, because as you play the game, you realize
mm-hmm,
certain moves can be parried a certain way, but that mechanic exists for certain
mm,
characters and bosses as well. I didn't know that because I didn't use certain moves that you could parry, like that thrust that you do where you like put this blade straight in front of you and jab it in front of you.
yeah.
Is really great for like doing damage and staggering like common enemies. I like tried it at first when they said it. I was like, oh, that's a cool move. Never used it. I don't know why. I just never used it.
Makes sense.
I saw somebody try that on a boss, and that dude parried it and almost one shot him in retaliation. I said,
Mm,
so glad I didn't use that.
yeah, no. That's been God. I didn't make it that far with the first boss because I think that whole I don't want to call it like a rock paper scissors system, but it's like certain grapples you have to like dodge a certain way
Oh no, it's
for
definitely rock
leaps you
paper
have to
scissors.
jump, so
Or
on and so
let me not say rock paper
Um,
scissors. It's a
like
hard counter system, you know.
yeah,
And there's not
so like
necessarily
trying to like find that rhythm.
sorry,
Love it,
this audio desync.
love it, love it, love it.
But I would say it's a hard counter system, and it's not like there's only one answer to something, but you get rewarded for having a more offensive approach, right? So certain like unblockables, like grabs or sweeps or other things like that, you have to very pay attention to the
Mhm.
animation, right? Because like you can look at something and say unblockable, it will not tell you which one it is. Because some characters have one, and so you think like, okay, he's always going to throw this same move
Yeah,
out, and then you go to a boss and they have like four different unblockables. You got to really be paying attention to what
bro,
they're doing.
bro. That I mean, I wasn't gonna be like. I mean, if I like knew what I was doing, I could probably like try to fight that first boss. Probably like all like New Game Plus or whatever. But like he brought up one buff. Okay, I know what that looks. That's enough cutscenes for that. Nigga brought up some other shit. I'm like, dog, that should not be an unblockable, bro. like, so
Yeah,
I'm enjoying what I have. Definitely like the pacing. Like I thought Bloodborne was fast. Nah, bro.
no,
No. Because like I said, when I'm out of the game, I was there to see one thing and got out. Playing it, I'm enjoying the speed of it, but I turned on Elden Ring for the first time, like go do one boss fight, and I'm regretting it. I'm like, nah, this speed is different.
yeah,
This, mm-mm, mm.
yeah.
I like
That's
it though.
I
But
think it's
yeah,
funny. Everybody who told me to go play Ghost of Tsushima and how good of a game it is, and thought I was weird for not playing it. I asked them recently. I was like, "Wait, did y'all actually play
it's a good game
Sekiro?" They
still,
said
but
no. I said, "Oh, that explains so much."
not like I think. See where I sit with Ghost still is like if you want that if you want like a polished open world game that is stunning and the story is worth the time, definitely play it because it's still gonna have. I feel like it's what every Assassin game wants to be. Every Assassin's Creed game wants to be. Like it's proper progression. The open world is if you explore, you get the most out of it. The combat keeps you long. You have enough gadgets and tools, so it doesn't get boring. But because it did come out a year after Sekiro, I'm like, okay, I see where they pull from Software, and I see how they try to make it a lot more digestible for everyone else. So yeah, no, I still enjoy both games.
Yeah.
We'll say it further in Sekiro. I'm see where my opinion is, but
No, I
yeah,
definitely saw the
it's
trailer for
okay.
Ghost of Tsushima, and I was like, I saw how tight and
Yeah,
precise the combat was. That's what intrigued me at first. But then I saw kind of how it was like
yeah.
more mash central, which is basic stance of light and heavy attacks. And I said, okay,
Oh
they
yeah,
changed. They changed it from the
yeah.
original idea, and I didn't. That's what made me jump ship. When I
They
first saw it,
did,
it was like kind of like those old samurai films where it's like this just standoff, where
bro.
it's like you just had to immediately counter right, and that could one shot somebody. I said, "Ooh, that looks interesting." And then I saw a recent gameplay of it. I was like, "Yeah, that is
And it's
not
still
what I
there,
was.
but
Not from what I've
yeah,
been seeing."
that standoff system is still there.
No,
The
no, I'm not
standoff
talking about
system
this.
is
I'm
still
not
there and
talking about the
whatnot,
standoff
but they
system.
definitely.
I'm not talking about the standoff system, but the regular combat looked like that. Like pull up the original, the first reveal trailer.
Oh yeah, the cinematic trailer. Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah,
cinematic trailer had this all so. Nah, yeah, I remember that for sure. And I see that shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
That combat looked interesting to
yeah,
me. That combat had me intrigued, and then it just looked basic. And I was just like, coming off of Sekiro,
yeah.
I was like, this ain't for me. And
I think yeah, that's definitely one thing to where you're just like get it. It's like if you didn't play that one, you gonna play that one. If you didn't play that one, you play that one. But if you play both, you have an appreciation because you
uh,
see the different aspects of why people enjoy both games.
yeah.
But yeah, just the long-winded way to say that's why I said The Witcher. I'm like, nah, it looks like stale bread.
Oh,
it
it
looks
definitely.
like
Dude,
stale bread.
I keep telling people, they're
So
like, so how'd you? Because somebody asked me yesterday, actually. He said, how'd you feel about The Witcher? I said, love the story, hated the combat. He said, really? I thought you would have liked the combat. I said, dog, I used the same move, and it got me through the entirety of the game. He said, what move was that? I said, the shield. The shield is single handedly the most busted move in the game. I said, so long as you get hit and come out of it and put it back up, you will never lose a fight.
you know, let's watch this little combat right quick.
All right.
Cause I'm probably gonna give it a chance for real. Cause I'm just like, I might as well play that 60 frames now, which I can on PC, but I don't know. I don't feel like doing PC stuff right now.
What I think is funny is I
I got
never
other
use
shit going
again.
on.
I never use potions. I never used any of the extra stuff.
Mm.
I just spam shield and attacks.
Oh, they're just about to one tap everything, aren't they?
There's a
Also,
lot
that's
of
Soul Calibur. Oh shit.
no. See, the funny thing about it is it has a lot of cool mechanics, but again, I never used them.
Mhm. You know, it's just giving off third person Skyrim, dog. I'm not gonna lie. I'm about to thug it out for how long is this game? Because
If I tell you, you're never gonna want to play
ooh,
because that thing is dense. If you're doing side missions, that thing is dense, and that's not even to mention the DLC, which people said is like another whole nother story, like not an expansion, a whole nother story.
so like Baldur's Gate long or like Persona 5 long?
I don't think it's Persona 5 long. I would say if you
Oh, y'all
blitz through
should
the
be
game
talking.
if you blitz through the game straightforward, you'll be spending like upwards of 30 hours roughly, like just doing like the
Oh,
most minimal
I could
side
probably get 80
content.
hours in peace then.
Oh no, it's not anything crazy like that. But like, dude, this, like I
But
said, I'm not there for the combat. Like the combat was like the least memorable thing. But like, it's just, there's just so much stuff, like so many mechanics as far as potions and abilities and stuff like that. And like once you get into a groove, you just don't use so much of it. I almost feel like I hate to say it, but I feel like the devs kind of wasted their time in many of those areas because like I don't use them personally. I don't see the benefit in much of them.
Yeah, I think that's why it's dead ass just giving off third person Skyrim when I watch it, and I'm just
It's
like, I'm gonna have a
it's a
lot
little
of fun
more
mashing my
it's a little
buttons.
more involved in that, but yeah, I will say it's probably a dumbed
I'm
down
keeping three
Ghost of
spins.
I will say it's a little more dumbed down Ghost of Tsushima because you do have things like the combat doesn't show it off very well from the outside perspective, but you do have things like
Mhm.
parrying and
Yeah.
stuff like that with like very
Okay.
subtle animations. So if you like scroll back a little bit, there was like this little thing where the dude attacked and he spun his sword and kicked him. That was a parry.
Oh, that's what that animation. I thought it was a regular input.
No, that's just attack. I think it was before here. Yeah, it was like when
Before
there was like
this,
three guys. It was like
all
three
right,
guys
go.
alive at the time.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's after this. Yeah, that right there. That's a parry.
Ah, okay. Hmm.
Yeah, so it's very
Yeah,
subtle.
I'm definitely gonna give it a chance.
And then this just mashing.
This one, like, I'm not surprised the Cyberpunk animation for this jank because I watched this gameplay and I'm like, guys, this is the same people. The animations look the exact same. Like I remember modding in the third person Cyberpunk. I'm like, oh my god, I'm glad this is in first person. This is not it.
Right.
So
I
yeah,
love how
no,
people always make
I'm
that
gonna see when the
complaint.
sale drops.
I love how people always say like, "Oh man,
Man,
I spent all this time creating my character. I can't even see him." I'm like, "Dog, there's a menu where you get to see them in their full glory. Stop and cutscenes. Don't worry about." Well,
exactly.
there wasn't any cutscenes until like the very end, but
The
I mean,
very end and the very beginning, and the mirror in your apartment.
I want to say it's a valid criticism, but I could care less about it personally. It's never been a big deal to me.
Oh, you
Oh
can
yeah,
cut
you.
these in half.
Oh no, you definitely get slow mo gore scenes. But I will say though, if you can get past the combat and your involvement of it, whether depending on how deep you try to get into it or not, for me, like I said, I just abuse shield, man.
Yeah,
I just stopped thinking. But I will say
sounds
the
good to
story
me.
is definitely the most worthwhile part of the game.
All right, say less because I mean that's everyone's already told me that like yo the story is it. I watched the Netflix series. I understand how this thing go. It is definitely intriguing.
No,
So I'm just like yeah.
the Netflix series is not that great. It's not a great adaptation, I should say.
Oh god, so I have a false sense of hope because I enjoyed it.
Here's the thing:
It was
they take story elements from the book, but they don't do them like how it was intended. Like Geralt is way more of an evolved character than what the show makes him out to be. You know. See, I never got to do all this stuff. I just never upgraded
that,
that tree.
this shit is a Soul Calibur. Hey yo,
Yeah.
how close is the combat from Soul Calibur to this? How close?
Oh no, moves are directly borrowed from this game. Like it's literally okay. Here's the thing: if you
Okay.
look at the character models like very closely, I'm pretty sure it's the same character model from Witcher 3 in all those games. And Soul Calibur, Monster
Hmm.
Hunter, I think he was in the third game. I can't remember, but all those games, I'm pretty sure just copied and pasted this character into animations because yeah, he no, they are one for one. But maybe
Say
some with
less,
some
because I'm like
minor
I've seen this animation before.
tweaking for the game context that he's in. But no, like I think if you can even look at his beard in Soul Calibur, and it doesn't look like any of the hair from the other characters. Like he's just copied and pasted right in.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
But
Yeah,
no,
no, I'm definitely gonna. I don't know if it's like 9.99. I'm gonna
look,
stare at it
I will
because
say
they comes
just
out
give.
December
I will say
14th.
commit a good 10 hours to the game. If you haven't made up your mind on that, then I don't think anything past that's going to convince you. But I'm so serious because no, that's how strong the writing is. I'm so serious. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, a little bit of a spoiler, not spoiler, but like the game gives you one objective from the jump, and that's it. It doesn't give you any icons to go to as far as like how to get to that objective. It's like, hey, find this person. And me playing all these modern games, I'm like, okay, it's not giving me a path. It's not telling me to go talk to anybody. And so I was like spending like the first hour trying to figure out what the game wanted me to do. And I had to think about it. I was like, oh, no, wait, if this guy had a lead, he wouldn't need me. So I went and did a bunch of other side missions, and eventually it went down to the main mission. Like, it was great. It was probably like one of the best gaming experiences I had as far as like mission
Oh
structure.
shit.
Yes, that's why when I said the mission structure in
Oh,
Cyberpunk sucked
okay.
compared to Witcher, yes, it was absolutely a step.
Oh yeah, no, hey, that is one. That is like that was definitely one complaint I'm always gonna have. Cause all the news I didn't know about. Well, I don't want to talk about that fucking game. But I remember everyone's like, "Oh my god, the mystery might be like the Witcher 3, it's kind of open ended, kind of go get your handle in the piece of this." Nah, they made Cyberpunk the most. Hey, here, go this, do this. Here's three
Box
options.
standard open world.
Yeah,
Dude, I was really looking forward to if I like did a
yeah.
bunch of missions for one faction and affected my relationship with another. Like, there were so many things that
Right.
affected it. The animals felt way too easy. They should have been they
Uh,
should have been way harder to deal with, you know. And then I finally watched
I'm
Edge
still
Runners.
mad I was one tapping on very hard.
Right. I was mad
Death
smart bullets
Runners.
didn't work day
Good
one.
shot.
You know how many times I had to reload my encounters to figure out why the heck I was getting shot down by cops, just to find out the bullets were missing my
Oh
target, going
man.
through buildings and hitting innocent pedestrians.
Yeah, they definitely fix smart bullets. But yeah, there's definitely a time where, oh man, so rough, so very rough. And not edge runners, you got people thinking the game was always good, and it's like,
No,
guys, no, there was a low point.
the story beats were definitely good, and the actual like well crafted areas of the world were there. Like all the hallmarks of CD Projekt Red's talent was on display. It just wasn't like fully fleshed out. And what I think Edge Runners does a really good job of is fleshing out the things that Cyberpunk the game didn't do so well, such as really going into depth about cyber psychosis, you know,
Oh
explaining
yeah,
what is it, some of the gang factions, you know, really really going into deep detail about how corporations are involved in everything at all levels in some way.
I mean, to rebuttal as the weird nigga who played this shit way too many times,
Uh-huh.
they pulled the whole what's that thing called? I mean, it wasn't like as in depth, but there's definitely like little like books you can pick up and read about the different gangs if you like explore it enough. It's like, okay, well, this website close like this. Oh, here's the third corporate war, blah blah blah. Like it didn't go like as like Edward definitely like took another step forward, but definitely like in game, you could if you want to like read all the entries, you could. But niggas ain't had time for that shit. Niggas just trying to make sure the game make
And
cash.
look,
But
I,
they
I
definitely like there's good
Skyrim
things in
ruined that
game.
for everyone for me. Like Skyrim's lores and books and stories, as much as it is a nice detail, it's a very boring one after the
Yeah,
first few reads. So yeah, don't expect me to read
oh
entries everywhere.
yes. Oh my god,
So I think as far as like
bro,
just as far as
that's definitely my
natural,
biggest turn off.
as far as like natural, introduction to the game and this world and stuff like that, as far as like what most people are going to experience, I think Edge Runners definitely did it better. You know. Also, did you watch
Yes,
that
it
show?
did, and it was engaging. We can talk
Did,
about it.
did you watch it?
I ain't gonna say nothing. No. I ain't gonna spoil it for nobody. I
All right.
watched it. Oh,
Yeah.
trust. I
What
watched it.
was it? Episode 5, where they showed up the dude running in the desert. Dude, that whole episode. Dude, that whole episode had me like nose to the screen. Dude, it was so good.
It gets there. The engagement.
Oh,
I had to shut myself off from the world. It gets like that.
made you think
If you
about
haven't
life a
watched it
little
yet,
bit.
please watch it. I'm telling y'all, y'all have to watch it. It's a short watch. It's worth the watch.
Oh, definitely is. Also, I don't
Yeah,
understand why
now
everybody was
now
liking
definitely watch it.
Rebecca. I don't understand why everybody was liking Rebecca. Like, I get it. She's a ride or die, friend. But like, yo, people were making her seem like she's best
Mm-hmm.
girl. What was it? Lucy should have definitely played second fiddle to her. And I'm just like, actually, after watching it, I'm just like, Lucy was his girlfriend though. Like, she was going out of her way
Exactly.
to keep that man alive. Like, and it's just crazy. And I think it's funny. Like, those same people are the ones that just like, oh, I don't like lollies. I don't like the idea of lollies. Yada yada yada. And then you look at Rebecca. I'm just like, guys, you can't.
Y'all, it's in your face. Align to yourselves. It's in your face.
I was like, guys, we gotta talk because this you can't say this and then like her like no. But no,
It gets even worse because I even came across I think I was on TikTok and they're already selling like figurines with like the removable parts, and I'm like, oh god, that is y'all are
mm,
exposing yourselves every day.
yeah, fun show, fun
Every
watch.
day we
One of my
spend
favorite
focusing out.
studios, Studio Trigger. Nice to see them branching off and doing other things. I wasn't expecting it to be that gory, man. I didn't expect it to take it back to like 1990s to early 2000s anime. With that
Really?
style. Yeah, like do
I think
the amount
I
of
think
dismemberment
it
in
felt it
vivid
felt in
detail.
place.
Like, no, it felt in place, but I
It felt
wasn't
so much.
expecting
I
it.
guess because I got engrossed. Yeah, I don't
Okay,
know. I
let me
was
let me.
after sitting down, fucking reading the books and shit. I'm like, we're gonna get there. You go see the
Okay,
death,
so let me
and they kept
rephrase that.
true cyberpunk vibes.
Let me rephrase that then. It's not that I felt like it was out of place. It's just for modern animation, in modern anime standards, I wasn't ready for it. Because that level of detail, especially
He
like
said he
again
had about
episode five,
the
especially with episode five where they had the slow mo from the explosion, the amount of dismemberment, like from frame to frame. That's the kind of stuff you saw like in Akira, dude. You don't see that often anymore.
he got hit by the he got hit by the whiplash of watching Afro Samurai for the first time. That's what he said. That's what it felt like. It felt like Afro Samurai again. They got to it.
Yeah,
Please go watch it, yo. It's worth the watch.
right. You got to at least understand the
Phew.
memes.
Hold up. Trying to pull up the scene right quick. It's probably gonna lag out the stream, but fuck it. Where that shit at?
Which
Probably
scene
went
is
way
it?
too far ahead.
Is it the one where Rebecca opens up the door and pulls out the gat?
Nah, I'm not. Oh, I can't even show this part. Nah, we not risking it. I respect people's dignity. We not. Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. They did get right to it. Yeah. Mm-mm. Nah. But I think I just get more upset that people have revisionist history now towards 2077, and it's like we can all appreciate what edge runners did, but y'all gotta stop this narrative because everyone was definitely hating on it.
if I
There
were
was
being
only a few of us
generous,
that understood.
if I was being generous with the game, I'd say it's definitely a 7 out of 10. And I don't give high numbers out usually. And so 7 is just like enjoyable on multiple levels, but not perfect by any means. But if I was being very critical, I would say it's down there with a 6, closer to a 5. You know, like it was just so much wrong with it when by launch, even after the patches. Oh gosh, that thing was never meant to come out on PlayStation 4.
Like I think that's where I sit too. Like when I I see I only have it as a 7 because of my personal enjoyment. But like once I really sit down, like okay, you got to take in consideration how this shit did not work for so many people, and
hmm
how everything we showed was just PC gameplay, which is also scaled back from what it was actually supposed to be. And then on top of that, with it being sold as the next generation game changer, even though it got sold onto previous consoles.
And on top
Yeah,
of
no,
that,
it's
we have
definitely a
DLC
strong
that's exclusive to next gen.
6.
So basically, my copy of the game,
See,
my Steelcase copy is useless with my 4.
Yo, I had bought the little game book guide trying to like learn different more, but not that whole book means nothing now because the whole overall to all the systems and shit. And I'm like, wow, I wish y'all cared. Yeah, I wish what we got now was considered back then because they knew good and well. They knew good and goddamn well. Oh man,
They're not
I
done with
think
this
once you like
universe.
even when you look past all those problems, yeah, I know we're gonna get a sequel and we're gonna get that new Phantom DLC, but nah, they
No,
still
no, they're
dropping
making
all
us.
this
They
first
said they're not
generation.
done with the universe, meaning that they're looking to make a sequel after this.
Yeah, we're getting a sequel with the
So
DLC, that free DLC. So I'm looking forward to it. Um, Expectations are still at an all-time low. That's why I enjoyed 2077. 'Cause if I had all the hype everyone else had, I would have definitely been talking here. Because oh yeah, I feel bad for niggas who pre-ordered the game to this day. To this day. To this day. Mm.
man, that game deserved better. I felt bad for the original creator because man, that man, people were trying to
Yo,
make
shout out
his
to Mike
game for
Paul
a long
Smith.
time. Thank you, because I never can remember people's names, but that man literally put off because many people wanted to make a game in his universe, but that man put off waiting until he could find somebody who could realistically bring it to light. And so Project CD Red, after The Witcher, he thought he knew that that was the team that could do it, and they were. But man, management screwed that project over so poorly.
Don't remind me.
And I
It's
feel like he
like
got a raw deal off
they
of it.
net like story like story wise, nailed it.
Mhm.
Lore wise, nailed it. Art
Aesthetics,
style
nailed it.
presentation, nailed it. Literally everything is so good, and then we get to the gameplay and what was told to us, and it's like, oh man, this is so generic. But besides, like the like we like, okay, you can stealth this, you can hack this, or you can just all out assault. Like it's like the only variation for real, for real. And it's just like even they've like on different playthroughs is more rewarding. No, it all leads to the same thing regardless. It still feels rushed. Even when what we got was solid, you can tell they're just like, let's get this out to the people now. We're lying about this here. Um, so yeah, we'll see what the future holds. But I I'm getting sad again. I'm just getting sad again. It is what it is. Watch that Trinity bumps, please.
I don't care if you pirated, but do
Um,
enjoy yourselves. If you weren't gonna say it, I was, because that's how I watch it.
hey, 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 my pocket. You know what I do. Sailor of the Seven Seas,
And the funny
man.
thing is, I got a Netflix
My
account. I just don't feel like
pockets.
logging in.
Fuck Netflix.
I'm on the family plan. I just
Fuck
don't watch it.
Netflix. Um, doesn't open it, doesn't look at it. He's like, I'm just here.
I
It's like
asked for
a
the
fail
password
safe.
one time,
Even
and
if
they
I'm the
said I'm
fail safe,
good.
I got my piracy.
They said, "Look, this is." I asked for the password to log
Man,
in, and they're like, "Okay, I just got to remember it." They never got back to me. I said, "Okay, bet."
LOL makes sense.
Did you
All
hear
right,
that
last but not
Gearbox
least, it's gonna be a
bought
short
out?
one.
Did you hear Gearbox bought out
Go
the
ahead.
rights to the Risk of Rain license or franchise?
Yeah, we talked about it like shortly last week. We talked about because
Uh,
they did that and they also I think secured Volition from like hosting intro next. I think they did like two little low key power plays. So
mhm.
yeah, heard about it. I didn't like really read the article yet, but I did see the headline. I'm like, oh damn. So it's either a good or bad thing depending on
I,
how you see it.
I hope
Um,
Gearbox is not the one that continues making Risk of Rain. That's all I gotta say. After their events with Borderlands, I just do not trust them.
I feel like it might just be a publisher relationship. I'm hoping it's just a
I
publisher
hope. I
relationship.
hope. But at the end
Um,
of the day, they have the rights. They
yeah,
don't have they don't have the team that made it. They
this
have the
is
rights.
okay. Yeah. Oh, that can definitely get tricky. That
Yeah.
can definitely get tricky. Oh, I can say. I'm just glad that they got Volition because fuck them niggas. I'm so that whole studio. I'm glad they got bought out because they didn't know what the hell they was doing being a fake AAA studio, giving us garbage for years. Ooh,
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with Gearbox
niggas.
after Borderlands 3. I'm still upset about that, man. I need to make a whole video about that.
I need it. I've heard the rant, and I'm like, put it out, let the niggas hear. Because I surprisingly, there's been like a turnaround. People like, I mean, it's not a. I mean, it's the gameplay is okay. It keeps you like held on for a while, but there's still so much wrong.
Dude,
It's just so good.
my
It's like
problem
It's
with
like Kingdom Hearts 2.
Borderlands, my problem with Borderlands 3 is the fact that it's coming off of Borderlands 2. Granted, it's actually coming off of Borderlands the pre-sequel, but we don't talk about that one because that one was branched out to a whole different continent. But that what was it? Borderlands 2 is still, in my not so humble opinion on this one, the peak of the looter shooter genre as far as like characters, abilities, loot variety, a very simple but involved loot mechanic, as far as like farming for rarities and things that enhance your build. Like it was so good, man, that certain builds are surrounded by weapons that aren't even legendaries, right? Like they understood what it meant to make a weapon
Mm.
special outside of just what color surrounds it, you know. And meanwhile, Borderlands 3 has gold dropping like it's nothing, and most of those weapons are useless, you know.
Oh
And
wow.
to see so much of what worked in Borderlands as a whole, from the story to the jokes, the jokes are hit or miss for some people, but the jokes were actually clever, you know. And the loot, the systems, the grind, and all this other stuff. To see everything work together, even to the point where after they stopped leveling you as a character at level 72, now 80 after that last DLC in preparation for 3, they had a system called over leveling
Mhm.
where it's like even beyond your max level character, you could still have like higher difficulty that still nets you more challenges with better gear, stuff like that. So you could still sort of like grind the game even further past a maxed out character. And it was a system that built upon the pre-existing system of leveling that didn't break the game, but just like kind of continued on without you getting more skill points. Borderlands 3 just threw ran like literally they just threw random stuff in there and said, "Oh, I don't know, it's just a wacky game. It's just makes it more fun, I guess." And it broke in every single aspect on every engagement level. And then they had the nerve to lock off certain gear unless you indulge yourself with those systems. And I think this says it all. Um, I don't know how involved you were in Borderlands community. I showed up late, but I was able to find a bunch of stuff on YouTube, from
Nope.
war videos to where to find the best loots to best builds for characters to patch notes. Like there's so much community involvement left and right in the game. Raids, like streams, stuff like that. Even when Borderlands 3 was getting announced, you had people jumping back and streaming the game in preparation, talking about what they could do with the lore,
Yeah.
story, characters, yada yada yada. Borderlands 3 dropped nothing. There was like a brief amount of people streaming content and like releasing videos, but like everything after that, that initial launch, silence. Like the most anybody was covering DLC on that game was like the niches of channels you never heard of that were
Mhm.
just meat writing that game.
Yeah. Like I think that's what's been like weird about Borderlands 3 and Tiny Tina's Wonderland. It's like this weird niche that's just like
I forgot that game came
I
out.
mean I'm pretty sure they're approaching it from like yeah. I think they're just approaching it from like the lens of like, well, this is the game that's gonna hold us over because the gameplay loop is in oh I've only played two. When I played three, I was just like, I'm gonna get my money back because it just didn't keep me engaged. So it's been weird kind of seeing everyone just like, oh yeah, these two games aren't bad. Just we don't care about the narrative. So more looter, more shooting. That's all we care about. So it's been
No,
weird seeing that aspect be praised the
Borderlands 2
most when a lot of people are
Borderlands 2
saying it's
was a
really
full
lackluster.
package. It was a full package, man. Every area of it worked in tandem with one another. So the fact that they showed up short on the loot, the fact that there was no things like I still don't think there's any raid bosses in that game. The fact that they didn't even have like
Look it up.
they didn't even have any rarity weapons dedicated to a singular boss at the start. Mayhem mode was basically cheat codes that nobody asked for, or mods that nobody asked for, such as everyone gets a big head, nades start dropping randomly. Dude, some of that stuff affected builds, like negative, like 35% pistol damage, stuff like that. Negative,
Yeah.
like 50% elemental damage, you know, and even worse off, they had stupid
You
ideas,
know.
just absurdly stupid ideas. One was like random elemental lasers just get placed on the ground without rhyme, reason, or warning and just affect you and you alone. Dude, there was this boss I was just trying to get one weapon from. And when I tell you that it was a small area you fought in, and at one point I hit this dude one time because you have to like engage in a fight to activate this mod. And I shot this dude like one time, and next thing I know, 6 different lasers were on the ground and hit me at once instantaneously. It was like nuclear, fire, electricity, corrosion, and like duplicates of like those things, and it just dropped me immediately. And assuming I even got up, they dropped me again. I said, "Who said this was a good idea?" I had never been so livid at a game before in my life.
Somebody said, yeah. I see that there's a lot more content recently, of course. So it's still like a community 4-3 that's going on right now.
Let me check it out.
Haven't seen shit for Tiny Tina yet though.
I think people are done. I think I'm serious. I think for the most part, because if you weren't committed as a player and you were check this out for the first time, I feel like you would leave unimpressed. Maybe wowed at the start, because of all the aesthetics and stuff, but ultimately disappointed, or
Yeah.
left feeling unconvinced, right? If you were a fan, you definitely lost faith in this franchise. Like if you were like a really diehard fan of two, like you felt that you did short end of the stick, going forward. And if you were already a fan of things like Destiny and other looter shooters, that were really big before the
I was
announcement
gonna
of
play
three,
those.
yeah, there was nothing here that was
Yeah.
going to convince you to get off of that. And so, like, I feel like with Gearbox, we're where Capcom was just a few years ago, where it's like, this is no longer art, this is
Mm,
product. Borderlands 2 was art, Borderlands the pre-sequel was product, Borderlands
yeah.
the Telltale was art, Borderlands 3 is product, Tiny Tina is product. And I knew that because they gave away the Tiny Tina DLC for 2 away as a single low content. And I thought to myself, they
As a
never,
standalone, man.
man, this is how I know the people who
My
made that
bad.
decision never played 2. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot about this. The moment we start, I don't know how we got on Borderlands. It's probably my fault. But,
Nah,
but
because we had we got here because you had asked if did I hear about the acquisition of
yeah,
of them getting the rights for Risk of Rain 2. That's how we got here.
yeah,
It was like it's
and,
how they shaky, and then we stumbled here. So
yeah.
my boom.
And then I knew the people who signed off on letting that be a standalone promotion for the Tiny Tina game coming out. I was like, these people never played this game because Tiny Tina and what's Dungeon, not Dungeons and Dragons, but it was like I forget the name of it exactly. But that expansion was end game expansion. That was come correct with your maxed out build and
Oh,
nothing less expansion. Yo, if you hopped in there not knowing that that was the last DLC they released, you got mollywopped, you got swept, you got creamed and turned into like bone meal, by just common enemies. Like you didn't stand much of a chance at all.
yeah.
Like they just hit
I
hard.
think
Just and so the
so.
fact that they
Hold
just
up.
gave that away as a
Is this?
standalone,
I feel like. Oh shit. Oh, see, this is why I don't like their. shit, this is such a weird time shit. But seeing them like acquire Volition and now looking at all the Borderlands games, I'm like, okay, one was good. We get to two. Okay, this is the peak. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna say pre-sequel was three, but just stick with me. You see, like that fall off where it's like, hey, this is not what we asked for at all, bruh. And then you get the three, and it's like, come on, dog, really, really. And then I don't know if you're gonna count Tiny Tina's as like I guess Borderlands. It's not really Borderlands 4 because it's not like it's the same universe per se, but it's not the same thing. But it's like this is them taking it all wacky, just like Saints Row 4. It's like its own direction. Them trying to split off like this is our own thing. Yeah, gonna take it or leave it. Blah blah
Were you
blah.
talking about the new
So
Telltale
it's like,
game?
damn. Nah, I'm not including the tales from Borderlands. That's a whole separate thing to me. That's a whole separate thing to me.
Because technically they're all
I was just
canon.
comparing the main. I see you talking about. I'm not even talking about stories right now, but if the stories are all canon, then damn,
Yeah, like no, they're all canonical.
damn.
Like Borderlands, like they're none of them are their own separate.
Well,
They're
I
they're
was
all take
reading
place in the same
minds.
universe.
Mm, never mind then. 'Cause I was comparing the mainline games to how the Saints Row trajectory went. How the first two games were good. Get to the third game, you see the brief all people enjoy it, and like the final game was a whole deviation. So what the fuck they want to do? So it just seems like Gearbox is kind of at the spot, sort of like I don't know, we're gonna take the Borderlands series, but who knows? It's weird. I'm looking at their YouTube channel right now. And I think they already had ties with Risky Rain. Like it said 9 months ago, Risky Rain 2 character reveal. So they've been in talks with those guys for a while. So I think they just kind of locked them down, got the rights for it to play it safe. So same with I didn't know they was a part of Godfall. Oh God. Hmm. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Looks like there's a
Oh
small
yeah, nah.
resurgence. A lot of people coming back now that the support has finally ended. Because they were updating it up until like what beginning of this year, I think. And
Okay.
there was just I feel like gameplay wise, once they got rid of all the BS, because I need to go back there and play it. Honestly, I just need to go back and really force myself to play that thing again. Like ignore the story, ignore the audio, ignore
Yeah.
the dialogue, all that other stuff. Just like play it in gameplay wise and see if that still holds up. Because if the more I get into the stories and just how lackluster everything is, dude, I'm gonna have to come over your house and record that whole rant, man. I'm gonna have to have a whole.
Hello.
I'm gonna have to have a
He said
whole.
that side gave it away.
Dude, I'm gonna have to have like a. You're gonna see me come over here with all my notes. I'm gonna print them out. I'm not gonna go bring my laptop. I'm printing it out for dramatic effect, and it's just gonna be like a whole Bible.
I'm sick.
Everything wrong with
I'm
Borderlands 3,
sick. You gonna have a
even
whole
after the
different
patches,
playwright.
even after the patches. Chapter 1, flip. You just hear it's like that's not audio included. That's not an audio add-in. That's the actual paper I brought to this man's house. Shout out to Cal. Flip.
Jesus Christ. Flip. Introductory page flip. Yeah, nah. This shit. Last thing before we get this thing wrapped up for the day. This is the most I try to find something I guess cheerful. It's already cheerful. I don't really care about stuff like this. But according to Sony and everyone else, God of War Ragnarok has broken records and is the fastest first party launch in PlayStation history. It sold 5.1 million in its debut week. So
Hmm.
that's more than The Last of Us, I guess, God of War 2018, and everyone else. They just came through, dropped their ass, showed that God of War Ragnarok is the game to play this season. Um, I don't think, I mean, 5.1 million is it's a lot. And I'm just like, how many of that is pre-orders? Probably half of that. And probably some people bought it off top. So, well, now we know that the 699 is definitely set in stone. Set in stone.
I probably have to
Oh,
do
and they also
market.
combine PS4 and PS5.
Yeah. I would definitely give it up to the marketing and the leaks both, because the marketing for it was spectacular. Like it really felt like an epic unfolding in the commercial, especially like when the hammer and axe clashed when they showed him and Thor fighting. I'm not gonna lie, that sold me right there. But when
So that's
especially
all I needed.
yeah, but the leaks of some of the more, not going to spoil them, but some of the more spoily aspects towards the beginning of the game happen, I think sold a lot of people as well, because they were definitely making some bold choices, with the epic of, Ragnarok as far as like the mythos. So not deviating, but definitely the way they involve Kratos, and the interactions he has, I think sold a lot of people. And they didn't want to get spoiled anymore.
Makes sense. Every time I think my problem is I haven't seen anything for. I think I watched like one trailer for Ragnarok. I'm just like, yeah, nah, I just gotta finish one or 2018, I should say, before I even like scratch the surface.
I
But
need to
every
re-
time I reinstall one, I realized this combat is fucking me up.
Oh no, that combat is not for the faint of heart, man.
Why?
I've tried replaying it and I didn't realize that it
I
wasn't
don't
giving me
know
tutorials and I
why it's
forgot
taking
how to parry. Messing me up.
like I don't remember where I'm at right now, but there's definitely a spot to where it's like those like floating insect guys who like have projectiles and whatnot. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just gotta get used to the cinematic feel again because I'm not even like gonna compare it to the first God of War game, but just because all these been playing recently is fast paced. I been playing Ghost, playing with Sekiro now, um, playing Elden Ring, having to go back to this like behind the camera, slow, very. It's not really. I want to say. I guess methodical combat again is just like fuck. This feels restricting, but I'm gonna definitely thug it out because I want to be able to experience Ragnarok as soon as possible.
Yeah. I probably will get to
You
it
know,
sometime soon, but I want to replay the first game first.
understandable. You gonna go Ghost again? I remember you told me you disappeared for a while to play that game, did everything. I'm like, God damn.
And I came
It's
back and I was talking wholly different. I was like, boy, get me on the podcast, boy.
we have a game on our hands. But yeah, no, I'm a definitely, I'm reinstalling it right now because every time, like literally every time I get into it,
PlayStation or PC?
I don't know what it is. I think a PC,
Mm.
because there's like a little upgrade on PS5. I'm enjoying the whole 60 frame stuff or whatever, but I don't know. Just every time I like get into it, I just like lose touch and like, oh, I'll put it back on the backlog again. That red direction, I'm like, nah, I definitely just gotta thug it out. I just gotta thug it out. So I don't know. One day, but I not. Just this is a side note before we get the fuck out of here.
Uh-huh.
During that whole 24-hour stream nonsense, I
Yeah,
decided to
I
give
tolerated it.
I think it's Oni Kambara. Is it Oni Kambara? Oni Shambara? I
Hold
don't know the
on.
name for it. Um, it's
Hold on.
Onechambara. I
ONEE.
copped that. I think it's
Oh, I
Oni
see it.
Kambara Origins. It
But
should
what
be
the heck?
Origins.
Oh,
I
that's the
picked
one
that
with
up
the
because I
cow.
haven't.
Yeah, I'm sad. I know what this is.
So let me explain myself.
No, there's nothing to
So
explain. I get it.
I guess there's a remaster that came out. I
Years
think the
ago.
remaster came out 2 years ago. Blah blah blah. Um, I decided it was on PlayStation Plus Extra, so I said, "Fuck it, let me give it a chance. It's free. I'm not tripping." I'm not gonna lie, it feels a lot better than the one that was on Steam that I played a while back. It's still more so. I think what sets it apart is they have like this weird rhythm based combats where like if you time your matches the right way, you get this cool fast paced action combo. Blah blah blah. Yeah, no, you know why I play. You know why I play the
Yeah,
game.
I know why you play it,
It's
man.
really simple. It
Let's
doesn't
say,
get
what?
past.
Anybody who
Yeah.
takes 2 seconds, it's like, oh, he like that. It's like,
So it's the story stupid, but the combat it's very hack and slash, so it keeps you engaged. And so because I like games like that, it's hard for me to play God of War, the reboot, because like damn, I gotta slow my shit all the way down, all the way down.
here's the thing:
So
it's only slow at the
yeah, no, I'm gonna
beginning.
think it out though.
It's only slow at the beginning where they're letting you actually learn the basics of the combat. The more elements they introduce and the more they actually attack you at the same time, the more you really got to start concentrating on what to fight first. Because they all start attacking you simultaneously. I remember there's been
And
certain
I think
encounters
that's
where I
why
was
I
sweating.
do appreciate it. I think that's why I appreciate it, because compared to other, I guess, third person open world beat 'em ups, I'm lagging. Hey yo, oh no, what is that? Let me say this before this shit kicks me out. Um, I do appreciate how aggressive the enemies can be. Because when you play other games, enemies wait for you to come to them, or it's always you fight one, two, stand back, circle around you. Oh, here we're gonna attack now. So you have like an open window. Nah, God of War said fuck that. We're gonna kind of translate how it was on the PS2 games, but with this modern spin of like, all right, take your time, be ready, have a nice approach. Some do badass shit, but nah, we're not gonna let you just have niggas watching you all the time. So I do appreciate that aspect. But god damn it, bro. I'm on normal. Let me breathe. Let me breathe, bro. So
No, you are normal. I was on
yeah,
hard, man.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
I couldn't progress in no time. So
You're brave. You are a brave soul.
no,
I
here's
watched enough videos, heard enough things say, hey, hard mode is gonna kick your fucking ass. Normal gonna kick your ass. So hard mode, nah, they'll fuck you
no, dude. The crazy thing is, I'm so used to playing hard. Like most games on hard is normal to me. Yo, when they said difficulty was hard on God of War,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's gonna be normal difficulty. No, dude, no, man. They were whooping my. Oh, dude, like people who were playing on normal were twice as far in the game as I was.
Man,
But I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
man.
After a while, I didn't even notice the difficulty because you were just in it. But the biggest problem, which they addressed in the
This
new
is
game,
always a
is
nice touch.
health. It's just like if you don't do it perfectly, man, it's like you just don't progress in the game. Whereas in the new game, health drops frequently enough to where it's not like the combat isn't free, but like so long as you're actually doing well, you have ways to
Oh,
get it back.
oh my God. Yes. Yo.
That's all that I was like,
Thank you for reminding me
that's
of why I stopped playing the last time. I'm in a corridor ass area killing enemies. I'm like, okay, health drop? Oh no, it's not green. All right, I think it's over. Four more enemies spawn in. I'm like, bro, I'm a one tap, okay? I can't parry this enough. I can't do all that. I get one little health drop, right? Pick it up. Health bar goes up by like this much. I'm like, okay, all right, okay. All right, Santa Monica Studios, y'all just wanted this.
right. Then they had the
Sorry,
nerve to give the boy
see
an
how
ability
they address
over
that.
an attack ability. Talk about give Kratos health. Yeah, I equipped that for like a one encounter. He's like, here's some health. It gave me like 15% of my health life back. I said, man, if you don't put the wolves back on,
He said, keep that shit to yourself. I'm gonna just get this payment timer right, bro. It ain't
right?
even worth it.
I said, man, I'll play
Ain't
Dark Souls. I'm
even
gonna just
worth
roll it
it.
out. So I'm gonna just roll it out. It makes
But
me want to
yeah,
play the game again now.
I'm about to thug it out. I've been what am I juggling right now? Because I realize, I guess, let me see this last thing before we fucking head out.
Yeah.
Because as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Persona 5's turn-based combat. So let me see what Persona 5 Strikers is talking about. Then I realized it takes place after the game, and I had to delete it so fast. I'm like, fuck. Those were like a little spin-off. Nope.
Nope.
Nope, it's not a spin-off. It is actual
you know,
storytelling.
no. What
I
pisses
said, God fucking
no
damn it, bruh.
what pisses me off about it is the fact that it's not even a sequel to the Royal Edition, which is seen in most people's eyes as like the definitive edition. It's part of Persona
It's
5,
all
the
five. It's
original.
all
I was like,
bruh.
I never wanted to knuckle up with a company I
I
love so
was
much
so
before my life.
mad. I was so mad. I was like, let me do some. I put like a few hours. I'm like, I feel like I should know what's happening right now. Okay,
Right.
this takes place right after the first. Oh, okay. Let me just delete this because
I never wanted to
spoiled that
swing
for
at a company
myself.
before. I wanted to throw hands with everyone at Atlas on that decision.
Like I try to juggle that. As you know, I've been playing Kana. Yeah, her name was Kana. I thought it was Kana. No, it's Kana.
That was
Playing
Kano.
that. It's a short
Oh,
game, but played that and I played Oni Kambara. Like I said, I played some of that. Once a God of War, played some of that. Sekiro, played some of that. So now I'm just like, I just gotta find the game.
so
to
I'm gonna
stick
say
to.
this:
I
play
have been
Sekiro or God of War. Do not
all
play
over the
both at the
place.
same time. You will hate video games.
No, that's what I said because that's why I'm mad. I even reinstalled Elden Ring because in my head I'm like, okay, my brain's timing is on Sekiro. I'm out here trying to clash with. I'm trying to parry. Like, wait, this is no. Bring out the new
this
katanas.
man
Oh,
ran
I
up with a
want.
katana to the boss in Elden Ring and tried to parry his swing.
I'm about to uninstall it because my brain is strictly on Sekiro timing right now. And even then, I can only balance a few games. I just know that it's going to be free animations. Yeah, nah. So I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to juggle back and forth between Ragnar. I said Ragnar, 2018 and Sekiro just to keep shit pushing. But
Yeah, Sekiro's still my
yeah, no.
favorite.
Any last word? And any last words you got?
Well,
See,
we skipped over recommendations, so I think I'm gonna just bring it back to that real quick.
oh
Um,
yeah,
for anybody who likes
yeah. Go ahead and do that.
anyone who likes heavy metal, I've been listening to a band called Ginger. Jinj wait Jinjir. Um, I think the most popular video most people know them by was Pasque, the one where the woman is singing the vocals, but then you find out she's also the metal singer that does the growl noise. Yeah, no, it was the
Okay.
craziest switch of my life.
What's
'Cause hmm?
what's the song called? What's the
Pasque.
song called?
I think that's how you say it. Pasque. Picse.
Oh, Pisces, nigga.
I see. Yeah, I
Hold
always see
up.
that and I
I
always
gotta
say
see
think
it.
it's Pasque.
Let me share my screen.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah, no, it's the whole zodiac nonsense. Yeah, Pisces. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna definitely check this
so
out.
I recommend if you some of their
That's
best songs that I
most
like
likely.
is Paisuke, On the Top, and gosh, what is that third one? Ginger, On the Top,
Mhm.
and I have it on my phone. Like back to back on the album I bought.
Excuse me. Oh,
Not Judgment. Oh, Pit of Consciousness.
but
So anyone that likes
back
metal,
to my
that's
Spotify
what
right
like.
here. Say less. They're gonna get
So,
this smooth follow. Gotta love having songs up here. Say
so
less.
I definitely like the guitar pattern,
Say
strumming patterns in that one. I haven't heard anyone strum quite like that in a metal band. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been listening to. We already talked about Edge Runners. If you haven't watched it, you're doing yourself a disservice. Point blank. Period. And as far as
no
video
date.
games go, I haven't been playing anything except. Dang, I was just playing it. What's that thing called? Dead Link. Roguelike and a
Deadlink, yes sir.
yeah, it's a roguelike with a cyberpunk aesthetic. And I will say they don't go that deep into the cyberpunk aspect enough. In fact, I was a little disappointed by the fact that like the elementals are like corrosion, fire, and electricity, and the abilities. While they're cool, I wouldn't necessarily say they're the most cyberpunkish. You know, like there's nothing crazy like you're gonna find in 2077. So I would say keep your expectations of stuff like that in the back. But all in all, it is a fun game. So those are my recommendations.
Say less. Say less. Honestly, music wise, all I can push the narrative on is listen to Mavi, Laughing
Man,
So
you don't
Hard It
promote your
Hurts,
albums.
Charlotte Native. He doing big boy things. Hey, not yet. He doing big boy things. Good album, simple. It's only 10 tracks. I'm not I lie. It's 16 tracks. I'm hella blind. 16 tracks. He rapping. We all like good rappers. It's just short listen though. It's only 38 minutes. It's 38 minutes. It's 16 tracks, but it's 38 minutes, and he is rapping.
Hey, I complain. It's
For
just
me,
as hard to
for
find
music.
rappers that are willing to do that.
I got you with the link later. He has a lower vocal registry, so it's like it's kind of like Earl Sweatshirt, like that type of vibe with like how he rhymes as well. But like it's still like a little bit of lyrics, so you definitely have to like pull up the lyrics sometimes to read. But yeah, Mavi, Laughing So Hard It Hurts. Um, I enjoyed that album. It's top 10 of my 2022. Um, TV shows. I haven't been watching TV like that for real. I think with all my life changes recently, I have missed all my Mob Psycho catch up, all my Bleach catch up, all my goddamn Chainsaw Man catch up. I've missed it all, so I am behind. But I've heard great things about Chainsaw Man, of course. But I gotta catch the fuck up. So I'm also gonna recommend it. Well, I need to catch up because yes, we support good work. Um, Gameplay wise, I'm still gonna push Kana. Like I said, if you want a platformer that touches all the bases while being innovative in its own way, it's on sale right now. $20. Get
All
that
right.
thing. That's really it. That's really all I got to say for real. Um, yeah, no. Thank you for pulling up. Thank y'all for listening. Hopefully we'll catch y'all next week. If not, we're gonna make sure to take another 2 month fucking break. But life be happening. But thanks again, y'all. Y'all stay easy. Drink more water. Peace.
Peace.